Hey, what's up, guys? Node Investor here. Time to go live, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post B2X, pre B2X fork, canceled fork party live stream. We're going to look at some altcoins. We're going to look at Bitcoin. Man, I had a party all planned out. We were going to go live. We were going to do a live stream on the fork. We were going to have some fun. And then we had fun yesterday, and it all started early. So, man, oh man, guys, I love crypto. It's an exciting space, never a dull moment. We're looking at the Bitcoin chart here. In case you're wondering, in case you've been living under a rock somewhere, this is the BTC USD chart. So let's check it out. I'm going to talk mostly the big names right here. I'll try to go fast. I'm going to go record speed for a live stream. This is not going to be Brooke, you're throwing me off. This is not going to be a 2-hour live stream. Who here thinks I'm Asian? I know some of you guys think I got a ponytail. All right, let's rock. Let's rock and roll. First thing first, Bitcoin. I sound a little lit. I've had this, I don't know if it's allergies right now, but it sounds kind of weird. It's all good. It's all good. You're betting a mullet? Man, I might have to go live with a mullet wig or something. BCH, Bitcoin Cash. All right, so let's check it out. So we're going to recap. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. Everybody knows what happened. Yesterday was the insanity day. When the news came out, Bitcoin rallied up to 7,900, then quickly came down to just under 7,100. And then the altcoins just really took off after that, as expected. It was the post-fork scenario, essentially, right? We thought Bitcoin was going to rally, and then the news kind of shocked everybody. Nobody knew what was happening. The shorts ran. They got smashed. Then they tanked, and everything went into alts. But surprisingly, Bitcoin has held up a lot more than I've expected personally. If you look at the daily chart here of Bitcoin, and we'll go to the one-day chart, I mean, it's just marching along higher. Now, the RSI is cooling off here, which is good. It's starting to put a little bit of a base consolidation here. Best case scenario would be just for Bitcoin to just sit here and just stay steady in this zone, right? 7,000 up to 75 or whatever, and put a new base in and let the alts do their thing. That's the best case. What's going to happen? Who knows? I mean, initially I was bearish. I mean, there was just no doubt this big volume reversal was very bearish looking, huge volume, but that was news. I get it. And we started to kind of march down here. And just in the last couple hours, we're holding tight. If I put my bear goggles on, and this is not really that strong of a case, but if I put my bear goggles on, there's a little case to be made for a little bit of a double top here on this 4-hour chart if you discount that insane wick there. But, that would put the neckline here around this $7,000 mark. So that's looking at the 4-hour. That's kind of looking at what's the downside potential here. Looking at the daily chart, though, guys, it's like I said, it's still looking good. There's really nothing to worry about here. It's due for a pause, well overdue for a pause. And so if we do break down, the next super strong area of support is going to be this, 62, 6,300. This little area down here would be the level that I'd be watching it for it to really hold. On the 4-hour charts, we just marched up. I mean, from that point on, that 61, 6,200 all the way up. So beyond 7,000, there's not really a lot of support, really strong support here. So that would be the next level down if it broke down here. But right now, this RSI is kind of basing out. It's looking good. So no complaints on Bitcoin. Let's move on. Ethereum. Ethereum was kind of breaking out here. This is Ethereum BTC on Coinbase. And you'll see here as I continue tonight, there's going to be, most of the charts are doing this, right? They had the big pop. Today, we're seeing the nice little pullback. Volume's drying up. That's exactly what you want to see. Things are starting to settle in right around this moving average, and potentially we're going to see the next leg up. And so that's what I'm liking. But Ethereum, there's something to note on Ethereum. When you look at Ethereum versus USD, it's been, and I'm going to show you the daily chart. It's been putting in this very tight consolidation pattern here. The key pattern, right? Mostly this upper trend line that it's been bouncing off of here. Try to break it today. Good volume came in, slightly came back under it, but we're right there. If this breaks out to the upside, that's going to be a nice break of a downtrend resistance that it's been in for a long time. And if you look at the apex of this little pattern here, it was scheduled to resolve right around the 16th, right around that fork. So we're looking at that here. I'm thinking this is going to pop to the upside. It's starting to look a little strong here. RSI starting to head north. It still has plenty of room to run on the daily. And what I'd like to see here is something similar to what we saw in Dash, where you saw Dash break a long-term downtrend. And there's the chart of Dash USD tether. And you can see this was a very strong downtrend resistance line that it broke with some good conviction. The volume started coming in, and this thing is looking super strong. And so the momentum has shifted in Dash. I'm liking this. This is a very good one. I've been talking about this in the last couple of videos. And so I'm looking for something similar to potentially play out in Ethereum. And so there's Ethereum BT or Ethereum USD. So keep an eye on this one, guys. If it starts to get back above the highs of today, this 320 zone, and really start to move, we could very quickly see 340s, maybe 350s, and that would be a similar potential up move. So next one, I'm going to cover the big three here first, and we'll talk Bitcoin Cash. And so Litecoin has been pretty strong here as of late, following the fork. Initially, though, it was tracking Bitcoin pretty well. So you can see when, where was that? When the fork happened, Litecoin had already had a pump prior. Well, not when I say the fork cancellation, but Litecoin had already been on a nice little run, and it was in the middle of this consolidation. And when the news came out, this was one of the few coins that initially just sold off. Neo started to pump. Some of these other names started to pump. It was kind of surprising, but then it quickly reversed course. Tons of volume came in, and since then we've been moving up nicely. And so Litecoin's still looking pretty good here. Just consolidating, normal pause. It needs it. If you look at the 4-hour chart, and these are the ones to really be watching right now, is this 10 EMA is just marching along higher. That's beautiful. That's what you want to see when these things turn around, right? It's not like we saw in, and I'll show you when we look at one of the other ones, but like we saw post Bitcoin Gold fork on October 23rd or whatever it was. You had that big rally that just faded and just fizzled out, did nothing. Most of these are popping, and they're starting to hold here. So if I look at Litecoin, on the daily chart, this is Litecoin USD again. This would be a nice place for it to pull back and pause and potentially form a little bit of a handle. And you could see this nice little potential cup and handle pattern forming here. But we're at a key resistance point here around $66 or so, 67. If it starts to break out, we can see another leg up. It's a little bit extended on the daily, not by much. I mean, RSI has plenty of room to run. So it's been following this longer term downtrend or uptrend here on the lower end. So just strong overall, still looking good versus BTC. Finally popping a little bit, and it's kind of interesting to see where it's pausing here. You can see on the BTC chart, it rallied right into that prior support level that broke down, which is now resistance. I don't think that's going to be a real strong resistance level. I think we'll start to overcome it, but it's nice to see that a lot of these alts are doing this right now, and they're starting to live above the 10 EMA on the daily. And so that's kind of the first sign that you want to see when this momentum starts to shift. Last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, it's been the seesaw, right? Back and forth. Bitcoin pumps, alts dump, Bitcoin rallies, you know, and back and forth. And it's just, now it feels like we're moving more towards the way it was before that, right? A little bit more normalized, where Bitcoin would rally, maybe pause a little bit, alts would rally, then Bitcoin would go, and it was just very correlated. And it was very inverse correlated the last 6-7 weeks. It feels like we're starting to move into that. It's going to be real interesting to see how Bitcoin does, or how the alts do when Bitcoin makes its next big move. I'd be just as happy if it just pauses and sits here for a bit, but we'll see. So Litecoin looking pretty good here. It's due for a little bit of, it's kind of consolidating here. Look at the 4-hour chart of Litecoin on the USD or on the BTC. Just kind of marching up, looking very nice here. No complaints. All these pullbacks have been very constructive, kind of volume drying up on the pullback. So keep an eye on this one. I think it's due for a little bit more pause, but this market's strong right now. Bitcoin Cash. Oh man, guys, look at this. Very strong. So was watching this very tight action happen during the fork. It just dumped. I mean, just took a hit. It was one of the stronger names. Look at the daily chart here real quick. I mean, Bitcoin Cash had been on a nice run from around 300 and just really strong. Got definitely oversold, overbought here near term. Was due for a pause for about a week, and then the big pop to the downside happened. But that turned out to be a big support bar. We saw that big sell-off, but tons of buyers came in. And going back to the 4-hour chart, this is what I was looking at. Just this nice tight action. It was getting ready to erupt. I mean, this thing was looking good. So I was waiting for it all day pretty much. And we saw that thing popping here just a few hours ago, and it was go time. So we'll see how high this goes, but it's just looking super strong here, and we're nearing this resistance point that it's been bumping up against here. This is right around that 720 level, so we're right there. If we get above that, though, I mean, it hasn't ever closed higher than this 760, 770. It's gone higher intraday, but on a daily basis, we could be looking at new all-time highs on Bitcoin Cash. Who would have thought? It's pretty incredible. Now, here's the thing to keep note of, right? This is super strong. This is looking good, but RSI is already at close to 80 on the daily. So just be cautious there. Don't go chasing these. I know they're exciting. They look good. And if you didn't jump on it right away, just be patient. But on the 4-hour, this thing could keep going for a little bit. It's got plenty of room to run. But there's no doubt it's strong. B2X was put on hold. Maybe. Yeah, I'm reading the comments. It wasn't canceled. So I say canceled. Postponed is probably the best word, but it was canceled for now, right? And that's the thing. As soon as I saw the news, I thought, yay, that's awesome. But everybody deep down knows that this little, it's going to come back. It's just the way it is. But it's good. Good that it's just kind of out of the way for now. It was well overdue. All right, so next one here, let's see. So we covered Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. I'm going to cover some of my other favorites that I'm watching here, and then we'll get to yours. Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic, BTC, looking nice, starting to reverse course here. But if you look at the Ethereum Classic USD chart, again, was sitting tight last couple of days or so, and just trying to edge out here, putting in a nice little pause, a nice little base, very tight, constructive action. One of the few that didn't really have a huge pump yesterday, but had already had a couple legs up. If you look at this was like Bitcoin Cash was one of the ones that was really moving ahead, had this nice 1-day, 24-day pop upside. But, by the end of the move, we were already up 52% before this most recent consolidation. So one of the stronger names here recently didn't really participate in yesterday's altcoin rally, which is just fine because it's been consolidating, putting a nice little pause, much needed, and it's setting itself up here for a nice move up. So Ethereum Classic, keep an eye on this one. Let's go to NEO. All right, NEO. So everything popped yesterday. Okay, from this point on, all the charts are going to look like this. I could just say the same thing over and over. So if you have a chart that you want to ask me about, it's going to say the same thing. It's going to be like this. But here's the thing. So NEO and a lot of these were putting in these little rectangle bases that I was talking about here, where it was very clear upper and lower resistance levels here that they were just kind of bouncing around in. And during the surprising news yesterday, everything popped, just huge rally. Look at the hourly chart here, just super strong for about 3 or 4 hours on most of these. Got way overheated near term, made for some nice intraday trading if you got them in early. I was only able to catch 1 or 2 before everything just got way too extended. I let them go. But what we saw yesterday was the big pullback, and look at where they pause. I mean, it's just interesting to see that they start to hit these moving averages and they start to consolidate. Look at the volume on these pullbacks, just really quiet, tight action here. On the 4-hour, very similar, where it's kind of pulling in, just letting the moving average catch up. This is best case scenario here. This is what you want to be seeing. You want to see these rallies that don't just fade like they've done in the past, where they just trickle down. Rather, they start to put in these little flags, these little ascending patterns. Very nice on lower volume. Lets the RSI and some of the indicators kind of cool off a little bit and just kind of sets up for another run. The thing with Neo here too is it has broken below this key resistance area here a couple of weeks, months ago or whatever. And that was just a big break for Neo. Pulled back, didn't go too far below that, which is good. And look at where the rally kind of paused here, right around that same zone. So it's nice. There's a little bit of a battle going on here around that prior support / now resistance area. But I'm thinking we're going to start to clear this soon. Based on the pattern, everything is leaning towards this is strong, this is pausing, constructive pullback, exactly what you want to see. And so I'm liking Neo here. Neo's looking good on the daily, back above the 10 EMA. RSI is nowhere near overbought, probably not as strong as you'd want to see it, but it's coming off of a big break here. So it could rally. I'm not saying it's going to go back to all-time highs. I think ultimately it will. But for now, I mean, even a rally to this resistance point is another 20% up. Maybe to the trend line, it's going to be another 30, 35%. So there's still some room to go here on Neo if it can break out here and follow through. Long term, we'll see. First things first, let's break this downtrend resistance. Next big support area or resistance area was going to be where we paused last month, right around that 800,000, 830 or so level there. But Neo looking good. Omise Go. So I'll look at both charts. Omise Go USD. Again, another one that has been in this long downtrend that's finally broken that downtrend. It's what you want to see. So I put in that box pattern here at the bottom, this rectangle base. Had the big pop yesterday and is holding it, and very nice on the 4-hour. Pulling in right now. It was way overdone though. I mean, this thing was super strong. Half tempted to chase it yesterday when it was putting in this consolidation, but looking at the 4-hour and the daily, just definitely needed some pausing. So it's doing that right now. And what you're going to want to see is these kind of just back and fill here, consolidate. If we get it, another day or two of this would be awesome. We could just see something like this on these charts and then take off. But we'll see. Could be strong. We could get take off sooner than that. Daily chart still looks pretty good. So I'm liking Omise Go here. This is USD. If we look at Omise Go on BTC, you can see same thing, right? Just popped up off the lows here. Let me clear some of my lines. 4-hour chart here. Very similar pattern. This one actually kept going into today. Now pulling down here a little bit, but nothing to really worry about here. It's still kind of a normal pullback. The big breakout was this line here. So in theory, it could really pull back down to this level even and just be fine, right? It could consolidate down at these levels. I don't know if it will. That moving average seems to be holding for now. But even if it did, probably not a whole lot to worry about. It's a good pullback and looking good here. Omise Go. Omise is a go. All right, a couple more that I'm wanting and liking here, actually holding a couple of these positions. Stratus was another one that I was looking at here, and that was kind of my, let me clear this for you guys. Some targets and measured moves I was doing there, but here's the thing to look at Stratus that I've been talking about here is Stratus put in this big double bottom base. And the thing I liked about this base is during that second low here recently, we saw this low, you know, we saw the double bottom pattern form there, but look at the RSI. It was a bullish divergence on the RSI. Very good sign. And that final low that we had here recently was very climactic. I mean, just huge volume showed up there. It felt like a big washout day, and that really turned out to be the low. And so for now, it's looking like it's wanting to move higher here. I'm liking Stratus. If we continue to see some upside, we could start to see this double pattern, double bottom pattern here form. But we've got a long ways to go before that's an official double bottom breakout. Because if you look at the neckline's way up here, and from this point up, I mean that's still 67% up. So a lot can happen between now and then. Back and fill, but that's kind of the broader macro pattern I'm looking at, and that's what I'm bullish on this one, because from a risk reward ratio on a percentage basis, this could go, and if it does break out from that double bottom pattern, then you're going to have another big leg up. So one to keep an eye on. Stratus long term, still, the macro trend is still down, but this is just kind of a nice bottoming formation, and we've still got some work to do. So I'd like to see this double bottom pattern play out here, but will it ever see these all-time highs versus Bitcoin? That's a long ways up. as much as I like this project, you know, they had a good team. You know, I don't know. I doubt it, honestly. I mean, even if it goes up to this level, that's 350% from here. It's just, this is an enormous move to get to those old highs. So versus Bitcoin, probably won't, is my guess. On the USD chart, though, you know, you could certainly see the old prices here. We're at $3-4, you know, $5, $6-7, certainly in the realm of possibility there. But one day at a time, one day at a time. So let's see here. What else? I talked Stratus. I talked Neo. Let's see, Quantum. Quantum was one we were looking at here. Just been super strong. Holy smokes. I mean, just no pulling back on Quantum. Just doesn't want to pause here. Very nice. Can't complain. Outperforming. One of the stronger names here recently. But, you know, coming off these extreme lows, and you can see all my lines right there. Every time it would break a new level, it's like, all right, Quantum, next level down, next level down. October was not a good month for Quantum. It tried. It really did. But, you know, we're still below this broader downtrend. And so that's going to be the first real test there. We're still about, you know, another 8 to 10% from testing that. And that downtrend right here just happens to correlate with this next key resistance point there. And that was the Bitcoin gold fork reaction that just fizzled out. And so that's going to be the key test there. So if you're in Quantum, if you're holding Quantum, this is the level to watch it. That's going to be a critical point. It would be nice to rally to there, pause a little bit, and then boom. So we'll see. But Quantum looking good, looking strong here, marching along. Quantum dollar looks like he wants to break out here, kind of sitting up tight, real nice here. So keep an eye on this, guys, here. Anything above that $12, $50, $13 level, it's going to be a pretty good breakout. And that's, you know, assuming we get some volume and some follow through, but looking good. All right. 10x. All my lines. Let me clear this for you guys. But 10x, again, trying to come off the lows here. Finally above that 10 EMA on the daily and also breaching that downtrend. So that's nice to see that finally. 10x, big volume day yesterday, though. Huge and still climbing. Just one of those ones that didn't really pull back today. Like, you know, you saw Misago and Neo, some of these other ones pulling in. This one's just looking strong. Let's see what the hourly looks like here. Kind of stair-stepping its way up. These pullbacks are nice little entries, secondary entries if you miss them. And notice where they stop, right? They pull back and they kind of go to this next breakout point. So, and this is a breakout point here. Didn't quite reach there, but looking good. Putting a little bit of a pause here. RSI started to diverge a little bit on the 1 hour on this pause, on this rise. So I'd be looking for a little bit of a break, maybe some consolidation, some sideways action, or a little bit of a bull flag. But 10x is still looking pretty good here near term. Okay, Lisk, one more, and I'll start looking through the comments here. Another one that just popped here. So Lisk, you know, Lisk kind of broke my heart yesterday. Well, I messed up. So I was on Lisk, had a little tiny profit on it, and I sold it. And I literally sold it. I'll show you guys where I sold it. You'll love this. I think I sold Lisk right there. And that secondary rally. And here's the reason I sold it, right? Nobody knew that fork was going to be canceled, but I was looking at this double top here. There's resistance. I had that rally, and I was in it down here, so it was a decent little profit on a trade. And saw it pop again because I missed this sell, and I thought, oh, I should have sold it there. Rallied again, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take it. Sold off. Was feeling pretty good about that sell, and then boom, and it's gone. And I didn't jump on it. I mean, it was a good jump at that point, and when it broke those highs, I just jumped on other things. It's okay. It's all good. I sold. Somebody else got a good deal. All right. I'm thinking that's it. I'm going to cycle through one more. Arc. Again, another one that had that big rally, pulled back. First time here, started to pop. This was a nice secondary entry. Had a good rally today, pausing right now, but still holding the support. Look where it pauses right at the old highs. So far, looking good. If you look at the 4-hour chart here of ARC, just marching along nicely, looking good, finding pullbacks here at this moving average. And right now, the big resistance here is that 52, just above that 52K range. You see where it almost to the penny hit that today earlier, pulling in, but pausing here. So I'd like to see a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit more flag here, and give it some some breather room here to give it a good solid push above that resistance there. But looking good on the daily, definitely well above that 10 EMA now. Broke that downtrend. Same pattern, right? Saying the same thing. So you guys are asking me, what about these other charts? They're all going to look the same. All right, live stream over. Appreciate everybody calling in. This was good. Just kidding. All right, let's keep going. LBC Library. You know, I still get a lot of emails from them. I think I signed up with Library like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago when they were talking about what they were going to do. I thought that's cool. And then I never did anything with it. So let's see here. So everything rallied yesterday, most everything. There was very few that did not participate. And it's just the ones that really didn't were the ones that had already rallied before. So we'll go through some of these. I'm going to go through my hit list, the ones I haven't covered already, and then I'll go through yours. So ADA, Cardano right now, 4-hour chart here. Just crazy action off that low yesterday. Finally pausing, hit that resistance point. It needs to pause here. So look for a little bit of a pullback or a little bit of a base right below this prior high. And man, that's a strong chart. 8x2, another one that's marching along, pulling it in right now. 4-hour chart looks very nice, very solid. Love to see these big volume pops followed by these low volume consolidations. So looking good there on the daily chart. You know, it could rally up to this next resistance point here. And even then, it's going to give you another 25% or so. So, and this one's been known to really pump here. So it could go higher, but not bad. We talked ARC, basic attention. Same thing, pulling in right now, right at that moving average. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash still going. Not bad. Civic. Civic's looking good. Very solid consolidation here. Had that rally. Look at that little base it was putting in. And this one looked like it was failing here because it was in this nice base. I was watching it. I was like finger on the trigger for Civic. And then it just broke down. I said, it's okay. It's done. It started to really break down. And then boom. Had that nice little pop today. Still has ways to go before, you know, it's called back into a bull trend. I mean, this one's just really been beat up. Hasn't even barely getting above the 10 EMA on the daily. So not one of the stronger ones here. But, you know, looking like it wants to break out here potentially. Good consolidation on the 4-hour. So kind of putting a little bit of a flag here. If it starts to move higher, you can see another leg up on this one. But just it's right at that resistance point. You can see the prior base there. That's where it stopped pulling in here. Looking like it wants to just settle out here a little bit. Dash, we covered Dash. Still strong. I'm liking Dash. Needs a break. Needs a pause here. But, man, once it broke that downtrend, had a couple of days of just some solid action there. And so liking it. Decred, another one too. Low volume name though. Definitely low volume all around. But another one that's putting in this nice big double bottom pattern here. And one to keep an eye on. I think it's finally put in a low. Could have another big move up. Even if it goes to the neckline of that double bottom, that's another 30% plus from here. So Decred's one to definitely be watching here, guys. On the 4-hour chart, it's looking good. Just continues to march along there. EOS. So EOS was a very strong one. Had that rally that was ahead of everything else, right? There was a handful in that camp that were just leading. EOS, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, a few other names, Vert, right? They were all kind of just running earlier and has since been putting a nice little consolidation here. Rallied. I'm going to bet that rally was a fib retracement. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, look at that. And it is. So that rally so far, that bounce has been a perfect fib retracement bounce right to that 618 level. But it's pausing here. It's not just selling off. So it'd be a nice little bit of a base consolidation here. Maybe runs up higher at that point. But looking good on the daily chart. You know, you can't argue that crazy buy volume and here too. So maybe that's it. Maybe it found a low. Maybe it's done with this insane decline that it's been in, and this maybe the official turnaround there. But I wouldn't be against it here. I mean, if you like this little pause, looking good, trying to settle in here, maybe another day or two, and could begin to go again. What else? I'm going to skip these smaller names. Komodo had a little bit of a smackdown earlier. Lisk, we talked Lisk, Monaco. Had a pretty good rally. Pause in here. Let me zoom in a little bit on the 4-hour chart. Consolidating nicely, not quite at the moving average, but again, had that breakout earlier. Today, it was actually one of the later ones, but looking good. Metal, did metal ever break out? Nope. Metal's not participating yet. So there you go, guys. If you missed it all, you got metal. Put a little conditional order in. It's just weak. I mean, after that big breakdown, it's just going sideways here. That's not even above the moving average, but maybe it's ready to go. Hasn't broken out yet. We talked Neo, we talked Omise Go, we talked 10X, Quantum, Steam It had a little breakout, faded it. We talked Stratus, Stellar Lumens. Oh man, this one was really strong today. Finally pulling in. Finally. Look at that, had that little bull flag breakout, nice rally, and just marching along. Looks like it's ready for a pause though. That's Stellar BTC, Stellar USD. Even stronger looking there. Wow. Not bad. Good little consolidation there on the daily chart. Could go higher. Ubic, small volume name, has rallied right into that resistance right now, but it's due for a pause. Good volume on the rally. Let me see the 4-hour chart here. Just pulling in. No complaints. Looking good. Vert. So Vertcoin had this rally here a few days back, popped, sold off there. This rally was also a fib retracement. If you look at from here to here, that rally was like a perfect fib. I think it was a 3.8 level, but or 3.2 level, but nice little base. Look at that. Breaks out, pulling in just above that little breakout point here. Could be a secondary entry on Vert if you like it. On the daily chart, can't complain. It needed a pause. It was just way overdone here. Needed a pause. Told you guys. Didn't I tell you guys? No, you guys weren't listening. Waves. Waves rallies right into that resistance point. Pretty strong, though. Look at that volume on waves. Man, someone's buying waves. It's being accumulated nicely there. Good, strong volume. Look at these sell bars. Those are support bars. People are buying this thing up. Looks good. It's Waves USD. Could be nearing all-time highs on the USD chart. How far are we? No, we're still good 20, 30% away, but not bad. Good volume. Compelling. You can't ignore that. That's super strong. NAM. Man, is NAM done? Is NAM done going down, guys? I don't know. Such potential. But had a breakout. Participating. Can't complain here. It's marching along. We talked Lumens. Monero. Monero is another one that was an early mover. And I traded it a little bit, but I definitely didn't hold it as long as I should have. Monero. So here's the thing with Monero. Keep an eye on. Let's look at the USD chart. Monero was looking very nice here. So on the daily chart, a few weeks back, we had that big downtrend, finally broke it, but then it just settled in. But look at where it held. Just a solid line, and it was due. When it's that tight for that long and you see this type of action here, it's almost imminent, right? It's going to break one way or the other, up or down, but something's going to happen. And had that nice rally, pulled back right to the moving average, and since then is marching along. So very nice. A little bit overdone here, but looking good. I think it's due for a pause. Look at the 4-hour chart. It's just super strong. Monero. Ripple. Man, nothing going on in Ripple yet. Who knows? Not on my list. Zcash was trying to break out here yesterday. Nice little break from this 256 level on the dollar, pulling in a little bit. Not bad. Zen. Let me see some other names. We're going to go dark here. All right, so you guys still with me? Library. Bitcoin started another rally. alts are going to fall again. You know, we'll see. I'm thinking there's been a shift. I don't think a Bitcoin rally is necessarily going to kill the alts like it was. BTC. So, yeah, it's looking good. Surprisingly, very nice. It's not killing the alts, though. All right. Let's take a look at some of these names. We'll take a look at NAV. We'll look at GRS. So let me set up my chart here. I'll do 1 hour, 4 hour dailies for you, and we'll see what that looks like. But I know this one was one of the most recent pumps. I don't know. It's not a bad daily chart, actually. A little bit of a symmetrical pattern forming here. So this is going to break. This is a neutral pattern. This can go either way. So you can see the line there. Let me change it for you. It could break up. It could break down. Kind of a little bit of a neutral pattern here. If I look at the daily chart, let me see here. Let's see here. It's holding the moving average. I know it looks messy, but I can read it. RSI's settled in. Finally, it really needed it. Can't complain. I mean, it could go either way. Odds favorites can go higher though, just based on the strength of the daily chart here. Very volatile. NAV finally done bottoming. Another favorite of several people that you guys follow. But yeah, we'll see here. I mean, did it participate yesterday? Yeah, it kind of did. You know, real similar. Had that, man, everything had that pattern. Isn't that crazy? You just saw that big box pattern that we saw and everything. And bam, there was the breakouts. Right now, pulling in. Very strong volume breakout. Huge volume. Nice constructive action on the pullback. Let me close some moving averages, make it a little cleaner here, but can't complain. Looking good. Oh yeah, power. Did you guys see Power Ledger? That one's looking really good. I think it was about to break out earlier. Let me see here. I was watching it on the 4 hour or the 1 hour. It looked like it was about to bust through. Maybe it did. Just too many to watch. You can't count them all. Oh, it hasn't busted out yet. Looking good, guys. Oh, it tried to earlier. I was watching this little base here on Power Ledger. Right, put in that little flag pattern on the 1 hour. Try to break through, pull it in, but still going. Consolidating nicely, putting in a nice little sending pattern here on the 4 hour. So if you like this one's looking good. This one is looking good. Cool. Digibyte. Oh man, there's a name from yesteryear. Saya. Oh man, you guys are going old school on me here. Digibyte, Saya. We might as well go look at some Golem while we're at it. All right, let's check it out. I haven't looked at this chart in forever. Will it ever come back? Man, I don't know. I'm betting there's tons of bag holders of this Digibyte. Tons. You guys are going to get like a 100% rally and dump on everybody. Even that, I mean, even a 70% rally is just going to take you back to that resistance point. Bam. Saya, I'm going to pass on that one. Let's see what else. P-Toy. Yeah. I don't know if I want to look at that one. Walton coin. Check it out. Had a nice little pullback. Nice consolidation. Very nice. Look at that volume. Bam. Putting in a little bit of a flag pattern. Starts to break above this. That's the one to watch right there. See a little move up. Could do one of these, right? Could pop above, pull back, maybe start to edge higher. And on a percent basis, if you take something like this, I mean, if you take it now, I mean, your risk, you got to give it down to at least that consolidation there, or you're going to get shaken out. That's still 70% if you're willing to live with that. Otherwise, you just wait for a little bit of a breakout. And even if it tests this old high, I mean, that's 30% above. And when these move, they move fast. but can't complain. Trying to come off the lows here. All right, let me see here. BCH has a plus 250 price target right now. Oh, yeah, totally. Good. All right, cool. So we talked everything. We're done. We talked Decred already. Did you miss it? Decred, big double bottom on the daily chart. Looking good. Marching along very nicely. FOMO Mike, where are you, bro? Actually, I just talked to FOMO Mike just a little while ago. FOMO Mike. He didn't even know we call him FOMO Mike. Poor FOMO Mike. I'm going to call him. I'm going to say Mike. You've got a nickname. 8X. We talked 8X. We talked Vert. Pivx. Yeah, let's talk Pivx. Man, nobody asked about Pivx. All right. Cool. So Pivx, yeah, another one that's I switched to light. So put your shades back on. It's getting bright here. Really, it is. Like I was staring at this dark chart. The screen's like 4 inches from my face, and it just started bright on me. Oh, it's getting late. Yesterday was a busy day. I didn't get a lot of sleep. I think I was up till like 2. And I got up early today. Yeah, this one's looking good. You know, the only thing with Pivx here, it's rising. So check this out. Here's a little bit of a chart school for you guys. So I broke out, had that nice breakout here. And let me get my lines here. Let me get my lines straight for you guys. Nice breakout. You can't argue with the volume. Very good. RSI is holding tight here. Can anybody guess what pattern I'm looking at, though? Come on. Come on, you chartistas. So what I'm looking at is this rising wedge pattern, which is typically not bullish. And so you're seeing this thing rise. The support is starting to climb, but the sellers are starting to show up here at this level, starting to put a damper on it. And look at the volume on this thing. As this thing is rising, the volume is starting to pause. So it's losing a little steam, losing a little momentum here. And well, this is on the 4-hour chart. It's not the end of the world. If you look at the daily chart, it's like whatever, right? This is just a normal daily. You could just pull back to the 10 EMA and keep going. Very near term. And I'm talking very near term. That's what I'm seeing. A little bit of a rising wedge. So it could break down here a little bit, put in a little bit of a pause down here. And the way you do those kind of depends on where you measure the wedge. But even if you did a measured move, a conservative measured move there, and you look at the breakdown from the flag, let's say it breaks down right here. It's not much. And we'll probably set it up right at the daily chart. You're talking 9-10%. So just keep an eye on it. If it breaks here, watch. I'm going to bet. I go to the daily chart. That's the 10 EMA. No, it's right below it. So who knows? Not a big pattern. I mean, I'm just saying near term, right? Like I probably, if it were me, I wouldn't buy it here. That's all I'm saying. The big picture, though, I mean, it's strong. You can't argue. It's turning around here. It's looking pretty good. You know, you can see rising wedges from a base pattern here, because it's kind of like a bouncing way. But yeah, you're right. A lot of times, you know, the rising wedge is down like this, or this one right here, right? This is the rising and then pause. But I just don't like to see that declining volume. I like to see declining volume as it does this, right? If it was doing this, that'd be nice. Or if it was just sitting sideways, putting a little bit of ascending triangle, that'd be nice. Ethereum, ETP. Didn't we talk metaverse? Maybe I just went through it real quick. 4-hour chart, metaverse, pulling in nicely right at that moving average here, volume coming in. So just everything's kind of doing this pattern, right? It broke out, pausing. Think we're going to see another leg up. It's going to be real interesting to see what these coins do when Bitcoin does its next thing, whatever that is. I'm hoping that is just this, right? I'm hoping Bitcoin does one of these for a little bit. We'll see. Speaking of that, that's still in that big channel I've been pointing out to you guys. And look at this. There's no more B2X marker on my chart. It's gone. It's all gone. But look at that channel. It's still in that channel. Just nice. Not bad. All right. I'm thinking that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we set a record. That's like the shortest live stream in the history of the Node Investor live streams. I'll take a look at a couple more. Sys, Block, Chainlink. Chainlink really died, didn't it? Is it finally turning around? Let's see here. Chainlink. Where are you at? It's trying. It's trying, just like everything else. Very similar pattern. Didn't I say? It's all the same stuff. Popped, pull back, nice moving average. That was your secondary and strike point right there, pulling in, pulling down here. Maybe another entry point there. So that's good. I mean, it's good action across the board. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I mean, obviously we got to give it a couple more days, see how these things play out, but I'm liking this. It's good. Time to jump in and buy Bitcoin. I don't know. I mean, it's in this channel. It's uptrending. There's nothing. Here's my take on Bitcoin right now. I'm not seeing any buy or sell action. It's kind of neutral. I'm just like, this is good. It's consolidating. It's going sideways. It's in this uptrend. If you have it and you like it, hold it. Would I be buying? Would I be selling? No and no, because I'm looking to buy alts right now. So it's going to need more time. Now you can just totally start to rally here. Absolutely. You can break down here. I mean, just who knows? There's no action right now, in my opinion. Bitcoin Cash, you missed it. You missed it. We already covered it. But man, I like this one. I'll look at it again. Jeez, 737 already. This thing is rocking. Don't buy it here. It's overbought. Don't chase it. Everybody knows it's going to 900, but don't chase it. Wait for a little bit of a pullback. Jeez, how high can this go, guys? What do you think? What's your opinion on Bitcoin Cash? So, yeah, I mean, if this thing pops and starts to close above 770 or so, we could see all-time highs. Not bad. This is on Bittrex. Not everybody had this big pump on when it first came out, but wow. Not bad at all. Should I put my life savings into alts? Yes, absolutely. Get a time machine, go back to March 2017, and put your life savings into alts. I don't know. It depends how big your life savings are. Let's see here. Gas. You got gas? See what gas looks like. It's on Polo. It kind of looks like the Neo chart. Popping, settling in here, putting a little bit of flag pattern. Round out the bottom there. Not bad. Not bad. All right, cool. What's your opinion on Genesis mining? I don't. Just like some of the other platforms where you got to quote unquote invest and tie up your capital. Yeah, you could make money on it, but I have other means. I'd rather just trade it and have my capital a little bit more accessible and more liquid to me. I'm just always leery of counterparty risk. So this is Zencash. Very nice, looking good. 1 day chart of Zencash. Had that huge rally. I mean, how big was that off the lows here? Just insane. 250. Wow. It's pausing. But look at the 4-hour chart. I mean, these dips being bought up here. It's looking nice, just marching along. Back in March, I told you to buy Ant shares, and you did. Yeah, but to all fairness, I don't think it was March. I think I told you to buy Ant shares like in June or something, June, July. I wish I would have bought Ant shares in March. All right, let's see here. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with me. We covered a lot of coins today. We covered it quickly. I was going to throw out a video, my normal update, but I thought, why not just do a live stream? A very fast live stream, not these 2-hour ones, but a nice quick one. Covered a lot of coins. Here's the summary. Bitcoin is a little bit neutral right now. I'm not saying it's actionable either way, buy or sell. If you're holding it, fine, keep holding it. The level to watch on the downside, that $7,000, $7,100. On the upside, if we start to get above 7,400 again, that's going to start to look really good. But for now, I'm really hoping it just sits tight, up, down, up, down. I'm going to go sideways for a little bit. And the altcoins, they're all kind of doing the same pattern. And as long as these pullbacks are contained and they hold, and then we start to see another leg up, just like this, that's going to be best case scenario. We get these pops, a little bit of downside, settle in for a little bit, more upside. And so just keep an eye on those. Probably the top watch coins right now, if you didn't already catch on some of these, and a lot of these, almost all of these are looking good. So you could buy on the pullbacks if you like those. But Ethereum, keep an eye on that. It's really tightening up here on the USD chart. On the daily, if you look at that, it's trying to break out of this very tight pattern. So I'm watching that. Ethereum Classic is also looking pretty good and a little bit tight here. So trying to edge out there. Obviously, Bitcoin Cash just started moving a few hours ago. And then all the other alts that are doing that pump and then a little bit of a pullback here. So that's it. So far, so good. I'm liking the action. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Till next time, take care, everyone. Night all.